The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. We come to you at this time almost every day.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Almost every day. Anyway, what else do we have going on in this today? And, I don't know what else you can say. It is, didn't hear it, huh? Do we have to play it again? Setup, options, system, save settings. Okay, exit. Run it again. You know, I finally figured out why it occasionally forgets all that, and that's the NVIDIA driver for my NVIDIA cards I have on this machine. When you install it, it resets it all to the NVIDIA card HDMI output, and I changed it. Maybe we'll see whether we can hear it now. There it is.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Doesn't sound like it, does it? Oh, it was low. Okay. Well, we'll turn it up later on. I don't know why it does that, but we shall persevere. We shall press on. Maybe it changed the actual audio devices. Did it change anything here? Properties, line, levels. Nope. All up there. Should be right. Anyway, what do we have going on today? Well, I'm not going to get too excited about anything going on today. I am all cash in everything, long, short, medium. The next 2 minutes. This is options rollover. We're in options rollover from a quad witching day. Do not expect to see too many things that make a lot of sense. This is the day where people are buying and selling, not because they want to, but because they have to. They need to get everything set up for options and setting up options and futures that will expire right before Christmas. And, of course, as Christmas is almost always a light and variable market through the end of the year, we'll say maybe the 15th or the 18th, that's the end of trading for the year. Markets just tend to go very light and sideways into that. But I think you can make the case that these guys are basically setting up for everything through the election and then post-election for what they have. So trying to get into that October and November cycle for options. And the what is the third October, third Friday of the month is the 18th. So that wouldn't get it, would it? For the monthlies, the best chance they're going to have is the 21st of October expiration. So we'll be looking at that. They're going to have about 2 weeks, but my guess is they're going to have a lot of these options up in that October 21st expiration date, and probably not a lot, put out a lot into that November date because of the election on, what is it going to be, the first? Nope. What is November? Is it, when's the election? I know how many days away it is. Is it on the 1st? Or is it on the 8th? I think it's on the 1st, isn't it? Maybe somebody in the den knows. I know we have 53 days or 50 days now from the warnings, almost like Christmas coming. But as I said, we don't have a lot out here to hang our hats on. I was looking through the charts rather feverishly this weekend, and I couldn't find a great deal. There are a few things we'll look at today, but not normally what you get at big bottoms, not normally what you get at big tops. We're still in this trading range. As I said Friday, I thought we were probably pretty much stuck in around 2140 to 2150 on the S&P cash. Nothing here changes that. We went a little higher than I thought we would today at 2153. Lost that fairly quickly. Got down to what, 2136. Let me update this to get the latest in here. 2135 and change. Let's call it 2136. So that may open up just a little bit more of a margin, but my guess is that we are stuck here until Wednesday. The announcement comes out at 2 o'clock. The press event starts at 2:30. The last two have finished somewhere around 3:15 to 3:30. So that gives us about 30 minutes to wrap up the end of the day. Then, of course, we're about a week away from getting into fund buying. So that means that we're going to have a good 7 days before we get any kind of support back into this market, which is kind of weak. The only bright spots have been, as we talked last week, where stocks were, one, very insensitive to higher interest rates, two, very insensitive to a stronger dollar, and that generally meant anything with super high margins that even though they may come down a little bit, will not be affected near somebody like a Procter & Gamble, who has heavy cash outlays, heavy sensitivity to a recession in the economy. All the things that mean that, for the most part, if you're doing business in the United States, you're not going to be that affected by the dollar, but you will be affected by the recession. So we want kind of the check boxes, and they all end up saying something like, you know what, we've got to be very heavy in technology because they're going to pull back the least, not that they're going to go the highest. But everybody already pouring cash into companies. We saw some of those companies the last few days of last week give it up today. Apple down fairly strongly. And we also saw, was it Las Vegas Sands? No, it was Wynn. Looked like it had kind of a blow-off top up around 108. We get a chance, we'll look at those charts. In the meantime, we got to get this party started.
It's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is nothing but history reporting. And what do we got out here? On this day in 1974, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury predicts that interest rates, then around 8%, will soon fall. The Dow leaps 3.4% on the good news. Over the next 7 years, interest rates proceed to double and never really turn down. So much for the prognostications of the Secretary of Treasury at that time. I don't believe the one that we have now. In fact, he's actually, of political types, kind of one of the more evil people that have been in government for this a while. I've got a pretty good eye out for people that are bold-faced liars. And he gives me the sense that, as my grandmother used to say, a gentleman that would rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. Mr. Lou. Anyway, I will be back. We've got lots of stuff to talk about today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And on this day in 1827, Jim Bowie stabbed a Louisiana banker to death and made his knife famous. And in 1959, one of the more evil people in the world, Mr. Khrushchev of the Soviet Union, was barred from visiting Disneyland. Man, okay, how bad can that be? Want to hear a little bit more? John from Philly does not know about the binary bandit. Apparently someone's running around stealing all the ones and zeros off the houses in Philly, and we need to hear more about that. He's not replying on the den or in the den. We got a lot of news to talk about. Like I said, not much happening right now, not a lot of charts. So we're going to talk about some things that maybe you won't make some money on in the next 5 minutes, but maybe in the next 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, maybe even 3 years. But a lot of stuff to talk about over the weekend, especially the broad brush strokes that are not going to change anytime soon. Of course, one of the things that I was reading about this weekend was apparently this oil field over in the Caspian Sea. It's been supposed to have been ready to go for the last 10 years. It's always run into yet another hiccup. It is, I don't know, in 1,000 or 1,500 feet worth of water already. So trouble to begin with. They've sunk $65 billion into this thing, but it is one of the largest finds in crude oil in the world. It will be producing oil for 50 years or longer from what they said. But this thing was going to be going on a lot earlier, but they tapped into these wells, and the first thing that happened was a bunch of noxious gas that would have killed everybody, blown things up. And so then they had to figure out how to put in new pipes into the ocean bed that wouldn't deteriorate, because it was basically an acid kind of gas that would just ate through the pipe that they put in there, before they could even get the wells going many years ago. This thing is in the Caspian Sea. It will start producing oil, they say, or at least have said over the weekend. It will start giving about 370,000 barrels per day. That's per day, coming online within the next year. Actually, they're going to start kicking out oil, according to the articles I read about it, in October. Not real clear exactly how they're going to get up to the 370,000 barrels per day. But, you get enough of these extra places producing oil, and it's going to keep a pretty much permanent lid on this. These guys are probably never going to make back their $65 billion that have been put into this well in Kashagan. Kashagan? That's the problem with news articles. They don't phonetically print out the name of these things. But everything that they say says this thing is going to be a monster. And just be aware that we're probably going to start seeing somewhere between, this is my guess from reading all the articles, or several of them around, maybe 50 to 100,000 barrels starting in October. We'll see how close that is. But in the next year, if you've been expecting a giant glut of oil, probably this on the long term could produce up to 2 million barrels per day, which is not a drop in the bucket. It is a huge amount of oil. Of course, it's nasty. The weather's horrible. Everything that you could think of has gone wrong on this, but it is finally getting ready to go. And you should think about this over the next year as this thing starts to ramp up, that there is a new sheriff in town, and he's got a lot of oil and a lot of loans to pay off. Also going on, if you're thinking about the EU busting up, it looked a lot more possible over this weekend. Merkel was out there crying crocodile tears about not listening to the people of Germany. It is impossible in some places in Berlin and other major cities to go out at night if you're a woman without being gang raped. Frankly, you've had to rely on skinheads to protect you because, of course, they're so politically correct over there. Well, she got slacked and in fact, basically the two largest parties got shellacked. One's right, one's left, and one's very left. The right-hand party in Berlin really took over. But she was saying, well, I should have probably paid attention, and maybe I was wrong about all the immigration stuff. I think these people are learning a little bit and far too late that the number one purpose of you being elected the king or ruler or president is to take care of your own first. She ignored that and took care of most of the very big manufacturing companies in her country, and the voters are not too happy. Kind of the exact same thing going on in Japan this weekend, and they're pushing their country to become a stronger, more independent actor. The new defense minister looks like she will eventually be the prime minister in the coming process, but much more nationalistic than globalistic, and she is making great gains there politically. I don't know how much difference that's going to make to us. I suspect that it is a much bigger deal in Germany to see Merkel on the outs, since she was the primary agitator in making sure that there was a country encumbered by letting everybody in. Solar City, there are 4 lawsuits in this stock that are making their way through court. They had to actually put out a 10K on this, Tesla and Solar City, saying that there's very little chance this thing is going to close in the near future. If you listen to one of my big heroes, that being Mr. Jim Chanos, he says that they're going to have cash by the end of the year. This would not close by then. Look for Solar City to even get some kind of bridge loan or additional shares out there to make sure that they could get cash before this could even close, if it can ever close. They are alleging that both Tesla and Solar City's CEOs were not doing their fiduciary responsibility. This Solar City may just hang on the vine until they go bankrupt. This may have been kind of a ploy, much like we see between Icahn and, is it Einhart? I think it's Einhart. Maybe it's one of the other guys. David, what's the guy, the blonde-haired guy, in their wars. This may have been nothing more than a play to try to get Chanos off of Solar City in his shorts. Chanos is not one to blink if he knows he's right. He may even be more right than we've ever known. Be very wary of Solar City. Their buyout offer is 25. I didn't look at it today, but I think it closed at 16 on Friday. We will be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Anyway, yeah, I looked at the chart on Solar City. No big deal today. But again, I'm not expecting a great deal out here. Most of the stuff I'm looking at today is long or even medium term, no short-term stuff really talking about, other than maybe GoPro. GoPro's up a little bit today. I did watch the videos on their new awaited drone. And I have to say that I was expecting to be underwhelmed. And I have to say that the price point, I don't know what the margins are yet, but the price point looks acceptable. The product looks pretty good. And if you're not familiar with this, they've been waiting to build their own drone and delayed it. It's been delayed an entire year. Their quadcopter was shown off basically for the first time today. It will go on sale October 23rd. By itself, $800, $1,100 with a Hero 5, and $1,000 with a Hero 5 Session, which I don't know what it is. I think it's a cheaper camera, maybe an older version. Top-notch stuff. I have to say that I'm pleasantly amazed. Don't think it's really going to change the long-term profitability of GoPro. Most of this stuff is kind of a commodity. The one really nice thing that they have two nice things about it. First of all, the arms of the Karma will fold back, at least two of them, so you can put them in a very small backpack. The camera comes off also on a stabilized arm. You can use the stabilized arm without the Karma drone. So if you want to get very smooth video, you can then bolt it onto the handlebars of your bicycle or whatever kind of extreme sport they expect you to be using this with, maybe diving out of an airplane. My biggest problem goes back to my own experience in the 90s. And I don't know if I brought this up before, but my claim to fame was coming up with some products that went along with another product in video editing. This was when everybody thought that they were going to be the biggest and baddest movie producer with one guy and one actor, maybe. They were going to make Gone with the Wind in their basement. Anybody that's been around video production knows that it is much more like having an army to make a fairly decent product. Even today, with all the different things, there used to be 40 scripted shows a year when we had 3 networks. There's now some 600 scripted shows currently in production. Each one of those has to have a lighting guy, a gaffer, someone who knows how to actually film it and make it look good. You need an editor on the back end. To make an individual movie by yourself that's scripted, very hard. A lot easier to make a documentary, and I think that's why we've seen some of the better filmmakers lean on making documentaries. But the people that were selling this product, who actually we're going through right now, it's called New Tech, was pushing that you would be making Citizen Kane on, I don't know, $200 and some change in your ashtray. It just never went that way. You've got to have and be perfect in so many different disciplines. You could be a little less than perfect, but you had to be a good scriptwriter. You had to be a good actor. You had to be a good lighter. You had to be a good cameraman. You had to do a great deal to be good. Occasionally, there were some movies that did well. Most of these found footage kind of movies. I forget even the names of these things now. But the idea is, yeah, it was, no, it was for video editing. The video toaster and a lot of that stuff. Got some questions out there. But my thought was that the way that New Tech was selling this stuff in the 90s was that everybody was going to do it. Everybody was going to be great. You know, you were going to have people making videos, great movies and stuff to watch by the billions. And the answer was a whole lot less than that. It ended up being, and they now make a product that we're actually being broadcast with now, that is much more live. Stuff for YouTube, stuff that doesn't need, you know, it may need a script, it may need some decent lighting, but it does, you know, you can get by without grips, you can get by without professional cameramen, you can get by with a lot of different stuff. Much smaller bite to be had. But when I start seeing everybody talk about the giant ability to edit, your online editor with these companies, everything else, I just harken back to those days where you might be able to make a good piece of video that shows people skiing or surfing. That is not a movie. That is not, it's, you may be able to make some stuff. If you're decent editor, you might be able to put it together for a YouTube video, but kind of gilding the lily on whether or not you're going to make Citizen Kane with this stuff. The answer is no. That's why I always think that there are a finite amount of people that are going to jump out of a plane, they're going to take a mountain bike down a ski run, or do any other things that people are always showing. And I think we're getting kind of close to that level. Does GoPro have to go out of business? The answer is probably no. With this product, it does look fairly good. They've got a couple of decent new features. Like I said, the image stabilization. They also have a remote for the thing that doesn't mean that you're using your phone for the remote. It's got its own little joysticks on it, and kind of a I'll think of what I want to say in a minute. But is this maybe as good as it gets? Maybe the thing gets to 16 or 17 or 18 bucks, but my guess is this is going to be a stock that's probably under 20 bucks for the next 5 years. They're going to have very tough competition coming along, and they don't have the huge amounts of debt and overhead and other stuff. I think it's going to be a very competitive market. One of the things that bothers me most about GoPro is that their cameras are quickly becoming a commodity. There's several new ones coming in from China that apparently for 150 bucks are going to be probably worth the $350 or $400 version of GoPro. And the question is whether or not, especially with these things getting destroyed as much as they do, whether someone's going to pay up to get the GoPro or if they're going to buy the Taiwanese, Chinese knockoff on their cameras. But if you're looking to go up and climb up the side of a mountain, probably not anything better than their Karma drone that they are showing today and selling in a month. Apple is looking at Japan coming out after them for taxes. Apparently, they paid no taxes in Japan on all their iTunes stuff. It looks like Japan's coming after Apple for them. I don't know if you can put 1 and 2 together for Apple's pullback today, but it does kind of go back to the theme that we've seen for a while, and that is the EU coming after Apple for taxes. Now Japan. We also see Google getting into problems with Indonesia on taxes over the weekend too. These guys got lots of big pockets. And I think as times get tougher, we will see more politicians coming after these big money bag companies for more cash. We'll be back after this break.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Focus Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 6 equally weighted commodities, including gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 50% per component, you could earn up to a 50% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The October 13th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Dan in Clearwater asks about Palo Alto Networks and if they're topping out. And I think they are. I would, though, on this one, I like the light volume here to get today. I still think that you want to wait until after Wednesday to make any plays whatsoever. But my guess is that I would like this trade a lot more if you could get to 157.28 back into this gap on April 28th. My guess is that has the ability to probably get into it even on the incredibly light volume. But a couple of days of light volume, if it could get into that gap. So many of these stocks right now are all hitting these previous gaps that I would lean to the side of giving this just a little bit more room out here. Even on the light volume you are seeing out here into the May 26th high. I had a question also, what I was talking about and when. And, you had a lot of volume. You weren't able to really hold that high. That was into Friday's expiration too. You had a little doji out here and it went right back into the trading range. You could tell from the way it was trading intraday out here, at least I could, that it certainly looked like they were just running the shorts back up into this gap. But as I was talking about it, there's this gap in win that goes back a while. Let's go back here and look at it. It goes back, and almost all these, when they're very close to these gaps, this gap goes back on win to this gap down on what is that, July 8th of 2015. And when even these gaps that don't have a lot of volume seem to be getting filled now, and then doing a lot more like win rolling over. So on PAN W, I would probably talk about that. Long term, you can really see the energy down off this July 7th high of 2015 to the low of $50.96 on my Power Law Vector indicator number was off by about 10 or 15%. I do think that there are probably better shorts out here right now. A lot of people started buying win as the thought that they would raise interest rates became a big issue. Also, if I didn't bring it up during the news segment out here, but China, everybody's gambling on houses again over there. In the last 45 days, it has become a huge deal again to speculate in real estate in China, which also makes me extremely nervous. Intel Inside, the new Apple iPhone does have one Intel chip in it, so maybe they're going to claim Intel Inside. For my Tech Insider readers, I did put out a special report on what the chips are in that and which ones would react by the amount of parts that they have in there. to Apple moving up or down, and of course the number of units that they ship going up and down. We did talk about Apple kind of rolling over here. Not surprising, kind of more than anything, just surprised that everybody all decided to pile in on Apple over the last few days. But again, that's just like almost everything out here. That is that it's feast or famine. You had two night gaps that could be considered the last two of a three-gap up play. Be very careful with Apple. You could see this thing come back and fill this gap down, which was to about $96.67. I would not be surprised for this thing to get back down to that 101 area yet again. The parts numbers still look like they're not going to have that big a move over the next 6 months with this product. And I think a lot of people also got their phones that weren't expecting to get their phones on Friday via UPS, which suggests that all they did was ship a lot more and put a lot fewer in the stores. And by doing that, made it look maybe like the product's a little bit more in demand than it needed to be. What else do we have going on out here? Just wanted to reiterate this. I know a lot of people were out on Friday and didn't hear it. Before the bell tomorrow morning, we've got Carnival and Lennar. I don't know if we're going to have time to get into it. Maybe I'll get a chart or two in here. But housing looks rather interesting right now, and I'm wondering if housing isn't queuing up to have a little bounce when the Fed does nothing on Wednesday. After the bell, we've got KBH Homes and Adobe on tomorrow night. CarMax Wednesday morning. After the bell, we've got some decent amount of earnings. Bed Bath & Below, Miller Herman, Jabil Circuits, Red Hat, Steelcase. That night is going to tell us a lot more about what the office people are selling, Herman, Miller, and Steelcase. It'll be interesting to see whether people are cutting back or advancing the amount of white-collar jobs out here. AutoZone on Thursday morning, and then, of course, Aether Systems on Thursday night. Friday, Finish Line might give us a little bit more color on what's happening in the big malls out there. I got a couple of minutes here. What we were talking about. We talked about PAN, so I can delete that email. I've got a couple more out here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on out here before we get to charts. Nah, I think we'll get to charts. Where are my charts up here? Here they are. Anyway, we were talking about looking at Apple out here. Could be considered a three-gap play. I love the monster volume on these moves up because this is kind of many times the exhaustion move in a stock like this. I think that there are better stocks to short out here than Apple, but keep an eye on it. If this does fail in the next few days, we could see a move down to this gap at $100, especially if my thought is true that they've probably kind of ginned up demand a lot more than what most people were thinking. And that it happened in expiration, probably not anybody really too torn up about it on Wall Street. I know what I wanted to talk about, and that was these Gartley patterns that I thought were very interesting. Lennar, we talked about that one coming up. And I did have this one. And, of course, if you subscribe to the Art of the Charts, you will get these on a daily basis. But a nice little Gartley pattern out here, pretty well formed. I do like the way the energy came off of the C to D part was fairly good. We've got a nice bounce out here today. Not a bad-looking Gartley pattern. The volume down, less than the X to A, which is mostly what I pay attention to out here. Pretty perfectly formed into its gap on Friday. Volume did pick up a little bit more than you would like. But earnings coming out here and into this one, I don't think I would be short the housing market. I think maybe their bounce with earnings. Could they get a little bounce out of this? They could. Maybe that sets up a continued move down. I just think maybe it's a few days away. But good-looking patterns out here in the housing market. We'll be back after this short commercial timeout.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we said before the break, not a great deal going on out here in charts. There's a few things that look rather interesting. We'll find a couple more here that we go through. But as I said, I'm holding my powder dry and until Wednesday. I don't see a lot of reasons to come out here. And as Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid said, best way to avoid a fight, not be there. I don't know what a single person or even a handful of people will decide. I'm very good when we know that we've got a market that's open up. I don't know what they're going to say. The odds, the Fed fund rates, I think, is down to 10 or 5% for a rate hike. So no one's expecting anything now. I think it's up to 60% in December. So we all kind of know that rates are going up. But, I keep on thinking that, man, these charts in the housing business don't look all that horrible. And I don't know if I'm going to get involved in these or buy them. I'm still rather bearish. But I do think that maybe, depending on what they say, these might have be one of the better looking sectors out here. A Beacon Roofing Company, BECN, has tested its previous low, did so for the May 17th low at $40.59 on 4.1 million shares. We've only done 1 million shares at the peak out here. It's up on light volume today, just 239,000 shares, so I'm not going to jump up and down. Again, you know, we're in rollover for options. That was on quad witching, so there's a lot of different moving pieces out here. I don't think that we're going to do anything other than play around between this 2140 and 2150 area for the next 2 days. I was looking through most of the charts, and it just looked to me, I think someone in the den said I said 2140 for expiration on Friday. I think it came in at 2139. Educated guess. Could I have been a little off? Yeah. But it just, the more I look at it, the more of these charts, they look like they don't want to fail at the highs. They look like they don't want to bounce at the lows. And I think you're going to see that a clear picture develop in those for the fall. But right now, just rearranging the chairs on the deck chairs on the Titanic seems to be what the market is up to, trying to get out of all stocks that have a lot of interest rate problems going higher. And if you're shipping stuff out of the United States, don't want to be in those either. So we're seeing a lot of that portfolios being changed, and I think that's why we see the market kind of locked, at least for the S&P. As soon as they sell one, they're buying another. And it's just what's moving up and what's moving down that we're looking at over the last week or so. As they sold, they bought the other stuff that came down last week. So it's kind of a net-net. We do still have a few more sellers than we have buyers. But if I was thinking of a perfect setup, it would be a wonderful spike on Wednesday that didn't have much volume, maybe a lower open on Thursday, and we start seeing the market continues to move back in the direction it's been moving in now for a few weeks. And, you know, hopefully we get an opportunity. We just don't get these wild gap downs that we've got before. That could be the new pattern for this fall, too, and that is big gap down opens. But we will see. I think the Fed and the Treasury probably going to be on the phone to each other over the next couple of days, figuring out, you know, do we need to throw a lot of dollars into this market to make sure that the dollar does not go higher, or at least quickly go higher? I think that could be a theme, too. Anyway, with my powder dry, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.